Hi there, my name is Steve Hughes, and today I'd like to present a way to modify hymns for the Church Pianist. I've been playing in the church for a long time, ever since really I was about 6 or 7. My grandparents were ministers at a church, and just over the years I've found ways to incorporate various techniques, and I'd like to share one of those techniques with you today. I'm going to play through a very common hymn that's played as a doxology in a number of denominations. This is Praise God, from whom all blessings flow, and you'll notice that I don't play the 4-part harmony as written. So let's get started. All right, so let's go ahead and get down to the nuts and bolts of how I rearranged or modified this piece. Really what it comes down to is taking the melody, the bass note, and keeping those as the core for the arrangement. And I'm ignoring the inner voices. So I'm just going to mark these out here. Ignoring the inner voices, but a lot of those will be played with the right hand regardless. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and play through this first phrase. And you'll notice that my left hand is primarily playing octaves, if not all octaves in this particular arrangement. And my right hand is filling out the chord. So if we do an analysis of this hymn, we're in the key of G. I'm just going to write the chord names. I'm not going to do Roman numeral analysis. We go from G, and then we go to D major, E minor, B minor, E minor, D, and G. And just over the years of experience of playing chordal style, along with my classical experience, I've kind of blended the two together when doing certain modifications. A lot of what you would do with pop style music. All right, so I'm going to build an octave chord top down, using the melody as my top note, and then I'm going to be playing left hand octaves, removing the tenor voice. Gives a really full, vibrant sound, really similar to what you would hear an organist play. And so that was my idea a long time ago when I started to change the way that I played hymns. I felt that the hymns by themselves, playing them as written, were just minimal in terms of its impact in the service and the sound. Now, I actually started doing this a long time ago when I was playing with an organist. Now, currently, I am the main musician of my current church. It's a smaller church, but I've played in large and medium-sized churches. And I found that this really kind of fills the sanctuary. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think it helps for the congregation and the choir to also kind of fill their voices as well. Now, there are some other techniques that we can do at the end of this phrase. We can fill out the chord with arpeggios. I like to kind of stick to the essence of the tune. Not do too much fancy stuff. Add fluff in there, maybe at the very end on the almond cadence. And then I'm just going to continue with the second phrase. Okay, second phrase. Have G, and then D, E minor. Now you want to, if you can't analyze this on the fly, then just kind of write your chords in on your music, and hopefully you have enough chord experience to be able to fill this in. And if not, then you can do condensed versions of the chords. Here's the second phrase. I jump up to here so I can have a nice moving line going down. So another thing I like to do with the bass line is give moving, from the 1 to the 5, 5 to the 1. Very common to walk down or walk up. Alright, when I get to that D down low here on the D1 to D2, really gives a big sound. And another reason why I do octaves is it's similar to playing pop styles, is you want to encompass a large area of the keyboard if possible. For voicing reasons, and also it gives more depth and spectrum of the sound. You're turning your keyboard into an orchestra. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and ignore the analysis for the rest of the tune. So here's the third phrase. Oops. And then the fourth phrase. I went ahead and took that inner voice, Holy Ghost. And then we get to the cadence, kind of opening my left hand to a 10th, and then just doing a nice little run, letting that 4 chord hang out there as long as I can. And then on the very last chord, I like to do this kind of Chopin-esque, open, like 6 intervals. It's really nice. So we have this really big sound, and all of a sudden it kind of fades out at the end. So I hope that gives you an idea of how to work with hymns and modify them to make them bigger sounding, and also to work in your chord analysis, or really working in your chord knowledge and analysis, and then also making your piano part sound a lot more fuller in the church service, especially if you're the only musician, or if you're a pianist, you don't play with an organ. So I find it fulfilling for me to play this way, and also I believe it gives a bigger sound just in general on the service. I will see you next time.